Rain threatens the area. An East Texas water rescue team must be ready to go and, more importantly, extensively trained in life-saving techniques. As KLTV7's Bob Hallmark reports, that was part of a training session today in Harrison County as water rescue team members met to practice life-saving scenarios.
At Perky Power Plant Lake in Harrison County, members of the East Texas Water Rescue Team as well as Alert Academy cadets participated in numerous critical life-saving drills.
So our goal is to train as often as we can. This is a great resource out here. This is an our initial training for these guys to get their swift water rescue technician certification. We see a lot of flooding here in Texas. On average, Texas has more people die in flooding than the rest of the U.S. combined.
Drills involving equipment for quick line placement, setting rescue buoys, and avoiding water obstacles.
Motorized boats that we were running yesterday to paddled rafts here that we can use in white water, how to directly contact victims and rescue them both above water and even underwater situations.
One of the essentials for any team member, swimming. They must be able to swim strong and sometimes against current.
You have to be a very strong swimmer. Water is relentless. It doesn't turn off. It'll keep coming and keep coming. It doesn't care if you're tired.
The objective is being proficient and time efficient because every second counts when lives are in danger.
Very difficult to do any of this alone, and we all work together. Everyone has a job.
Moving water in particular is very unforgiving. High hazard, things happen fast, and if we're not squared away when the time comes, we won't be able to provide the service and do the rescues we need to.
Bob Hallmark, KLTV 7 News.
The team will be in Broken Bow, Oklahoma tomorrow and Friday for rapid water training.